All right, guys, new intro here for the Bear Pack. We hit our goal of 8,000 subs. Thank you guys very much. We're going to be giving away a jersey on our live show here soon. But, guys, we're looking at 9K subs now. We're getting to Thanksgiving time. We're getting to Christmas time. We would love to hit 10Ks by December 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around there, so we can give someone $1,000 for the Christmas gifts. That'd be a huge lift off someone's shoulders. So please get us a 10K. We love what we're doing. Thank you guys for the support. 12K subs after the 10K. We're going to send someone to a game. Probably not the Super Bowl. Don't get any ideas, guys. But we're gonna do our best to send you guys to two people to a couple games of your choice. That's probably not the Super Bowl. But guys, thank you again for all the support. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's get into some NCAA football picks and props for Saturday, October 27th slate of games. Take a look at that leaderboard. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, at the moment I am 0 for 0, but I did give out Florida Atlantic -3.5 versus Charlotte. At the moment, they're up by double digits. It is early in the second quarter, so we just got to hold out hope that they're going to finish strong and cash for all of us.
Seth?
Yeah, I just took the under in this matchup. I trust Charlotte's defense, but Charlotte's offense can't score, so I wasn't worried about them putting up enough points in this game to ruin that under.
Yep, and then I have FAU -4 with Trey. Hopefully they do pull it off. They're currently up 14-6 midway through the second, like Trey said. So hopefully we do keep that there for the -4. But let's take a look at our plays for tomorrow. Trey, how do you start us off?
Yeah, and I'm going to be attacking a Big 12 game. I'm going to be looking at the Cincinnati traveling to Oklahoma State game. I think this game, honestly, is going to be a bloodbath. Give me Oklahoma State here, -7.5 here. I want to take them -6.5, but it is truly very expensive to buy that full point at 6.5. But I honestly, at the end of the day, think Oklahoma State's going to win by double digits, so I'm not too worried about the -7.5 here. And that's because Oklahoma State, they look like they could win the Big 12 if they were playing like they have been the past 3 weeks, their entire season. And they've been putting up points on Kansas State, Kansas, and West Virginia, and Kansas State's defense is one of the best in the Big 12. And over that span, they're averaging almost 39 points per game, not to mention they covered all 3 of those games as well. And I think they're going to be looking to keep the train rolling here against Cincinnati because this Cincinnati team has gotten 8 alive in Big 12 competition so far this year. They've lost 5 straight games, 4 of those being conference games. And over those 5 games, they've got beat by an average of 29-19, which would cover this spread. And each of those teams have put up 30-plus points on Cincinnati, besides Oklahoma, which is weird but true. And I think this game is honestly going to be over before it starts, especially since this is a home game for Oklahoma State. If you don't know, their crowd is absolutely wild. So give me Oklahoma State here at home, -7.5 against Cincinnati.
I like it, Troy. Seth?
Yeah, guys, and I'm going to go to the Western Michigan versus Eastern Michigan game. And if you guys recall, in my dog last week, I did take Eastern Michigan, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion. And as much as I started looking at this game, I had the under in mind, but I'm going to go with the home dogs here. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan on the money line here at home, as I was a little confused about this because Western Michigan has really been skidding of late. And Eastern Michigan has been good, and they're undefeated at home this season. And on top of that, these two teams have faced off every season since 1976. And although Western Michigan leads the series 34-22-2, Eastern Michigan has won 4 straight games dating back to 2019. I really like Eastern Michigan's defense in this one, and Western Michigan's defense is very bad. So even though Eastern Michigan's offense hasn't been great, they should be able to move the ball all over the field on Western Michigan. I'm going to stick with Eastern Michigan, even though they broke my heart last week. I'm not going to hold that against them. They were 11.5-point underdogs. Took the chance on them, lost by 3. I'm going to go right back to the well here. I'm going to take them on the money line again, as Western Michigan is 2-6 this season. So I'm not quite sure why they're favored here, which is kind of scary. I am going to say it is kind of scary, but Eastern Michigan looked good last week despite losing, and they have been the better team this season, and they're at home. So I'm just going to take Eastern Michigan here.
Yeah, I like that you're going to the Maction games. And by the way, Tuesday Maction's back next week, so I'm very excited about that. But for my play today, I'm going to be looking at Colorado going up against UCLA. I'm going to take UCLA -16.5. I really think this is going to be the game that everybody says Colorado is officially done on the season. The Pac-12 is loaded. I'm going to say Colorado did a fantastic job in the first weeks of the season, but 3 weeks doesn't make a season. It's down to the nitty-gritty now of the Pac-12, and they are not going to be ready for this game. Colorado, they don't have a defense, and the only thing that's been stopping UCLA from winning all their games has been moving the ball. They will have success against this Colorado defense through the air and on the ground, specifically on the ground against this weak front four of the Colorado. I'm going to get into that in my player prop about the run game, but UCLA is one of the best defenses in the entire country. And while I do think Colorado has shown some fight this season, this is not going to be a game they have any chance of winning. UCLA is still scoring 31.3 points per game, having 215.6 yards per game on the ground. The defense is surrendering only 14.9 points per game, and they are second in the entire country in stopping the run and top 50 in stopping the pass. Like I said, they only allow 14.9 points per game. I don't think Colorado is going to be able to do much of anything on the offensive side of the ball. So give me UCLA minus 16.5 as they destroy Colorado at home. Guys, let's go to the player props. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, at the moment, I am 0 for 0, but I did give out LaJohntay Wester over 90.5 receiving yards against Charlotte. At the moment, he has 3 catches, 27 yards, and a touchdown with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So a lot of game to go, and he's getting fed the ball already, so I love that.
Seth?
Guys, I am not prepared today. I'm sorry.
You have...
I know I have Jalen Jones, but I just don't know where he's at. He has 32 rushing yards.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, and I had Charlotte's quarterback, Jalen Jones, to go over 68.5 rush yards. In the second quarter, he's currently their top rusher at 32 yards. We have a whole nother quarter for him to get this, and even though they're trailing, this Charlotte team runs the ball a crap ton, so I don't see any issues here hitting this one.
Yeah, and I've got Larry McCammon to go over 73.5 rushing yards against Charlotte. He currently has 35 yards on 5 carries. Maybe they need to give him the ball a little bit more. But like Trey said, we're only in the 7-minute mark of the second quarter, so we got tons of game left for those plays. But let's take a look at our plays for tomorrow. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a running back here. Give me Omarion Hampton over 103.5 rushing yards against Georgia Tech. I really love this over for Hampton in this game. He's getting an absolutely cupcake matchup against Georgia Tech here, and he's quite possibly one of the best running backs in the country because over his last 2 games, as you can see, he has been turning it up and eating opposing rush defenses alive. He's averaging 154.5 rushing yards over his last 2 games, and I think he's going to be looking to keep the train rolling here because North Carolina, they love to run the ball, and Mac Brown, he's still stuck in the past, it seems. And then especially whenever we look at the matchup here versus Georgia Tech, they have the second worst rush defense in the entire country. They give up 233 rushing yards per game. That is absurd. And with Hampton, he has 62% of North Carolina's total rush yards this season. So that projects him to finish this game with 144 rush yards, which is way over this number. So give me Omarion Hampton to have a big day here. I'm taking him to go over 103.5 rush yards versus Georgia Tech.
I love it, Troy. Seth?
Yeah, and I'm taking another running back prop, and I'm going to go to the Texas Longhorns. I'm going to take Jonathon Brooks over 110.5 rush yards, and we're seeing it again, guys. The Texas Longhorns are churning out another very reliable, very good running back in Jonathon Brooks. He took over for Bijan Robinson this year, and all he has done is impress Texas fans. And on top of that, we're going to be getting a game that will not see Quinn Ewers in this game, so they're going to rely pretty heavily on Jonathon Brooks to control this on the ground. And as Trey used, this is going to be a cupcake matchup for him as well, as BYU is allowing 161.5 rush yards so far this season. Jonathon Brooks is a workhorse. He's going to get his touches in this game. And as you see, he has hit this over in 3 out of his last 5 games. So I do not see any issues with Jonathon Brooks here, even though this is set so high. We could be looking at another close to 200-yard game for Brooks like we saw him put up against Kansas because this BYU run defense is just no good. So I do like Jonathon Brooks here on the over.
Yeah, I like that play as well, Seth. We're going to stick with the running backs today. I'm going to take Carson Steele to go over 98.5 rushing yards going up against Colorado. I just talked about how UCLA has been dominating on the ground this season, and a big reason why has been Carson Steele. This is a workhorse, and he transferred from the best conference in the nation this season to play in the Pac-12. Being a workhorse runs in this guy's blood because he comes from the MAC, so you know he has grit built in his DNA. He has 113 carries on the season, having 600 yards on the ground, averaging 5.3 yards per carry. And if you think this guy's small, you're sadly mistaken. He's 6'2", 235 pounds, and he delivers the blow to defenses, and he's going to deliver the blow to this Colorado defense. We should see a minimum of 25 carries in this game from him, and that's really not that many because over the last 3 games, he's handled 20-plus carries in all 3 games. Give me Carson Steele to have another great game and go over 98.5 rushing yards going up against this very bad Colorado defense. Guys, let's get into that graphic. Seth, how do you start us off?
Yeah, and I actually changed this. Like I said, I had kind of a change of heart when we were starting to film, and I am going to take Eastern Michigan as the home dog on the money line in this one. I just don't think Eastern Michigan should be the underdog here, so I'm going to roll with them as they're at home, and they've won the last 4 matchups against Western Michigan. And then Jonathon Brooks actually jumped up to 110.5 rush yards, but this isn't going to scare me off the prop because Quinn Ewers isn't in this game, so they're going to rely heavily on Jonathon Brooks against a very bad BYU defense.
Trey?
Yeah, and I went with Oklahoma State -7.5 against Cincinnati. They should win that game by double digits. Oklahoma State looks legit at the moment. Cincinnati, they are just tumbling down the Big 12 rankings. And then I also took Omarion Hampton over 103.5 rush yards versus Georgia Tech. Hampton, he's one of the best running backs in the country. North Carolina loves to run the ball, and Georgia Tech allows the second most rushing yards per game.
You know what's crazy for Oklahoma State? It's as simple as picking a quarterback to start. Like, that's all they did. They picked a guy and they went with it, and I don't think they've lost since they did that. But, yeah, I think Oklahoma State's a great pick there. But I'm going to go with UCLA -16.5 against Colorado. Colorado, not up to the talent that UCLA has. And then I'm going to take Carson Steele to dominate Colorado, over 98.5 rushing yards in that game. But, guys, that's going to do it for NCAA football plays for Saturday, October 28th, slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You can click that. There's two options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube, and it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,